Preface. My Nova Books presents Race Through the Red Dunes by Rowan Blackthorn, a pulse-pounding desert odyssey where every swirl of sand hides a new challenge. To explore more, please visit mynovabooks.com. Now sit back and enjoy. Now reading Race Through the Red Dunes.
The sun balanced on the rim of the world, flooding the desert with molten copper. From the crown of a tall dune, 17-year-old Inara of Drywell village scanned the endless waves below. 40 miles to the northwest waited Sunspire Outpost, and the medkits, seed canisters, and 3 precious water filters lashed behind her seat must reach it before dawn. Wind tugged at her cloak, carrying a distant, continuous growl that vibrated in her teeth. The elders called such a sound the sand roar, warning that a storm was gathering beyond sight. She licked dry lips. The air already tasted faintly metallic, like blood on iron. Beneath the ridge waited her 3-wheeled sand sailor, Sparrow, and 3 lighter outrunner skiffs crewed by her friends, Mary, Tahoe, and Quinn. This would not be a solo dash. The cargo was too dear, the danger too large for one rider alone. With purpose firm in her heart, Inara vaulted down beside her team. Mari, slim and sharp-eyed, tightened the strap on a brass spyglass. Tahoe, broad-shouldered, sorted his coloured signal flags and flare shells. Quinn, youngest yet, already a gifted mechanic, ran gentle hands over Sparrow's mast, listening for fractures. The way healers listened for fevers. Crew, circle up. Inara called, voice echoing in the bowl of sand. They formed a crescent around her, goggles pushed to brows. Tonight we ride 40 miles through open dunes while a storm chases our heels. We've drilled the protocols. Call them out. Mary spoke first. Scout 2 minutes ahead. Mark sink pockets with yellow smoke. Green if clear. Good, Tahoe. If we're scattered, rally point 1 is the Needle Rocks. Rally point 2 is the old relay station. Blue flare means regroup. Red means abandon route and seek shelter. Quinn grinned grease on his chin. And I'm Sparrow's shadow. If anything cracks or squeals, I'm there, with resin and splints. Inara nodded. For a moment, the gravity of her responsibility pressed down hard. She wasn't just hauling crates, she was hauling the hope of both villages. Her hands shook, hidden inside her sleeves. She drew a slow breath, steadying herself with the thought of her mother's laugh and the trust these friends had placed in her. She chose the words carefully. Perfect. Remember, no hero rides alone. We finish together or not at all. She drew a breath, letting the hush stretch. Drywell's wells are near empty. Sunspire needs these filters to keep its babies breathing. Tonight, we prove the desert can't break neighbors who stand shoulder to shoulder. Ready? Their answering cheer rolled like thunder across the ridgeline. A confidence she tried to let settle in her chest. Before launching, the 4 riders performed the Quick 10, a checklist every Drywell convoy followed. Wheel hub spin, sail track lube, braking band tension, mast flex under half, then full, then shock load. They finished with comm check, short-range beads threaded into their collars, clicked twice in each ear. Satisfied, Inara reefed Sparrow's sail for the initial descent. Launch in 10. She ordered, trying to sound steady for her own sake and theirs. At her signal, canvas the color of faded peach rose against lemon sky. Gravity rolled Sparrow and the outrunners onto hard pan flats. The twilight breeze was gentle but steady, perfect for 40 miles an hour. Numbers on the wind gauge climbed. 35, 40, 45. Mari's outrunner knifed ahead. spyglass to one eye. Overcom, she said. Sandshelf at 7 o'clock. Shallow but hard. I'll tag it yellow. A plume of saffron smoke curled behind her craft. Night seeped in, stars pricking the lavender sky, when 6 dark specks rose on the southern horizon. Long noses, upright masts, dune wraith skiffs. Their captain, Solara Rix, stood at the bow of her flagship Talon, flanked, as every campfire tale promised, by her 3 specialists, Gearbox Jin, Longshot Kai, and Creek the Tracker. Eyes up, Inara warned. Wraiths inbound, bearing 155. Tahoe unlimbered a flare gun. Signal or stay dark? Stay dark. She replied, we're ghosts on the wind. Inara's heart pounded painfully hard. Her father had lost friends to the Wraiths. The stories had always seemed distant and grand. Now they rode in her dust. A hard-packed valley opened eastward, its floor smooth as fired tile. Inara eased Sparrow into the chute. Sparrow's sail snapped full. The Wraiths fanned out, forced wide by softer drifts. Mari darted between them, trailing confusing green, then yellow smokes that forced the pursuers to dodge imaginary hazards. Climbing the exit dune, Sparrow's nose punched into a hidden pocket, and the sand face collapsed. The mast splintered with a sickening crack. Quinn, to me, Inara shouted, panic flaring at the thought of letting the town down. Quinn's slim craft anchored downwind. He bounded over, unpacking bamboo splints, Kevlar cord, and fast-cure resin. The same kit Sparrow carried, but 2 hands worked faster than 1. Together, they bound the wound in figure 8s. 30 heartbeats later, the patch held. Quinn slapped the spar. Good as new, Captain. Inara blinked, swallowing the lump in her throat. She glimpsed the grease under Quinn's fingernails, the steadiness in his hands, and felt a rush of gratitude and relief. Couldn't have done it without you. She managed, the words rough with emotion. Each close call seemed to grow the trust and fear, threading their team tighter. With repairs complete, the course funneled into sandstone pillars called the Needle Rocks, Rally Point 1. Tahoe arrived first, planting a blue flare that bathed the pillars in sapphire light, guiding Mari back from a false channel. Whole crew accounted for. Tahoe reported. Echoes of wheels boomed ka-ka-ka. Behind, metal screeched. One wraith clipped a pillar. At the narrow Widow Gap, Sparrow darted through. A pursuer wedged its outrigger and spun out. 4 wraiths stayed in the chase. Rix and her specialists, Jin, Kai, and Creek. Jin's skiff, Spanner, closed on Quinn's quarter, prow low and hunting. A flash of blue seared the dark. Spanner's concealed plasma cutter. Sparks showered like artificial stars. Quinn, on his outrunner, swung the tailgun and fired a magnesium flare straight into the hot spray. The sudden glare blinded Jin, forcing him to sheer away. Moonrise silvered the dunes. The sand roar deepened, vibrating Sparrow's frame. Grit floated on the wind, stinging Inara's cheeks. The ruined relay station, Rally Point 2, glimmered 3 miles north. The direct road across Rattler's Run lay 15 miles shorter, but exposed. Mari's voice crackled. Relay station shows no roof on east wall. Won't hold a hard blow. Inara weighed choices, then keyed the team line. She could hear real nervousness now in Mari's normally crisp voice. Tahoe's usually cheerful tone had sharpened. If she chose wrong, she could lose more than cargo. She pictured her little brother in Drywell, breathing shallow and cracked-lipped without clean water. And yet, she trusted Mari's skills. She trusted Tahoe to lay the light. We push Rattler's run. Mari, stay point. Tahoe, swing wide to lay guiding flares. Quinn, stick on Sparrow. Copy. They answered. Rattler's run funneled wind between sandstone cliffs, birthing waist-high twisters that danced like bronze snakes. One slammed Sparrow's flank, tipping her craft. Inara harnessed the lift and slingshotted ahead. A wraith tried the same maneuver. Longshot Kai, judging by the triple scars on the sail, overcorrected and flipped. Now only Captain Rix and Creek clung to Sparrow's track. The canyon spat the riders onto an alabaster salt pan under a sky of swirling soot. The storm's front towered a mile high. No outrunning it now. They would have to ride it. Inara toggled broadcast so her crew could all hear. Storm Protocol Delta, reef to sprint rigs, helmets down. Keep 5-second spacing. Remember rally point 3, the beacon itself. Her mouth was dry, but she channeled every lesson the elders and her parents had pressed into her. When the wind howls loudest, ride harder. Still, she felt the anxious knot in her chest, a fear of letting the team, the village, herself down. She muttered a quiet promise to the wind. Not tonight. They reefed down together. Minimal canvas, maximum control, strapped crates tight, whispered prayers, and punched their skiffs onto the pan. The first gust, 70 miles an hour, rocketed them from 30 to 60 in 4 seconds. Sand sheeted sideways, turning night into copper fog. Talon, still full-masted, swallowed a brutal cross-gust and slewed. Rix held on as the sail inverted, carving white salt. Creek sent up green, the all-clear to take the lane, but Rix had lost the seconds. Sparrow's convoy was already 100 yards ahead. Visibility shrunk to 10 feet. Compass needles spun under static. Mari, riding point, counted aloud. Tack north, 2 points, now. The others mirrored her move by the cadence of her voice. Sand hissed like boiling water on iron. Tahoe seeded the storm with blue flares, 1 every 100 yards. Blue meant regroup. If anyone slipped the line, they could follow blue back, while the others used the tiny lighthouse chain to hold bearing. At last, a white beam stabbed the gloom, Sunspire's rotating beacon. The team whooped in unison. They angled toward the light, muscles quaking. The storm hurled one final punch. Sparrow balanced on 2 wheels. Inara hung leeward, nearly horizontal, until the craft thudded level. Tahoe's skiff lost a stay, but regained control. Talon, broadside to the same gust, flipped twice. Inara glimpsed Captain Rix crawl clear before the veil swallowed her. Sunspire's wind fence loomed. Gatekeepers waved flares, guiding them through. They spilled wind, braked, and coasted inside as one unit. Filters, seed, medkits. Inara rasped, handing off the crate. The chief medic squeezed her shoulder. All present. You brought the dawn with you, children. Exhaustion flooded Inara, nearly buckling her knees. She scanned her friends, seeing matching relief and pride. Tahoe thumped her on the shoulder. Couldn't have asked for a tougher leader, he muttered, and her heart soared. Mari threw an arm around her. Quinn offered her a canteen. She drank, marveling at how pain and hope could sit so close together. All night the sand roar battered at the fences, yet the bunker held. Villagers unpacked supplies, cheering each good report from the infirmary. Patrol walkers later radioed. Captain Rix, Gearbox Jin, and Creek the tracker had been hauled from an upturned skiff. Longshot Kai limped in under her own power. Fines and a season's trade ban awaited them, though some remembered times the wraiths had tossed canteens to pilgrims lost in June seas. Rix's ledger of deeds good and ill, remained stubbornly balanced. At dawn, the storm's backside rolled east. Dunes lay, re-sculpted, every track erased. Sunspire's people gathered as Ainara and her crew stepped onto their decks, repaired masts gleaming. The chief raised a hand. Drywell sent its best riders, and they rode the roar itself. Honor their road home. Cheers echoed. Inara blushed, overwhelmed. In that moment, she glimpsed herself through their eyes, not only as a courier, but as someone who had chosen courage over comfort. We only followed the wind. She answered, nodding to Mari, Tahoe, and Quinn, her friend's pride in her. Each quiet glance and squeeze of the shoulder meant everything. As they rolled toward the gate, they spotted Rix seated on a medic crate, arm in a sling. The captain managed a crooked grin. That glass oasis is real, you know. She called. When I find it, Drywell gets first claim. In that case, Inara replied, voice ringing with new confidence, quit stealing from the people you'll want as allies. Rix laughed, half rueful, half impressed. We'll see who teaches whom. The four riders climbed a ridge and studied the renewed horizon. The desert, smooth as blank parchment, promised fresh stories waiting for brave hands to write. Inara lifted her face to the breeze. Whisper glass. She murmured, her private charm, then swung Sparrow's sail. Mari, Tahoe, and Quinn fell into formation, and together they rode the newborn wind toward home.
End of Race Through the Red Dunes. Outro. Thank you for joining us for the journey through Race Through the Red Dunes, written by Rowan Blackthorn. We appreciate you listening through to the end of the book. If you enjoyed this story and are looking for more great selections, please visit mynovabooks.com. Thank you for spending your time with us, and we hope you'll join us again for another story soon.